3 days was a long time to wait, but it worked with my plan. It was the beginning of the summer holiday, and the following morning, I left to visit my grandparents, who lived a few hours away in the town of Doha. It was the perfect place to receive my powers before coming home a hero. Well, 3 days crept by so slowly, I thought I would die from boredom. Worse, my grandmother kept putting me to work cleaning the yard and chicken pens and scrubbing her kitchen floor, which left my arms tired and rubbery. Oh, I wondered, when will I become strong? But on the 4th day, I awoke and instantly felt different. My arms were heavy, as if laden with stones. I flexed my muscles, and they felt as firm as tree trunks. My hands, squeezed into fists, were as solid as 2 bricks. Heading outside, I took off running down the dirt road to test my speed. Sure enough, I felt the wind in my face like never before. That afternoon, my Uncle Mada invited me to watch a soccer game at the town field. Perfect, I thought. Here I can test my powers. Like always, the place was packed with people. But I had no interest in the game. Instead, I scanned the crowd, looking for the biggest boy. When I found him, around my age, standing on the far corner of the field, I walked over and stomped on his bare foot. He let out a cry. "Excuse me," he said, hopping up and down. "You just stepped on my toes." I stared at him, saying nothing. "I said you stepped on my toes. It hurt." "So what?" I said. "Well, it's rude, don't you think?" "Then why don't you do something about it?" He looked confused. "What do you mean?" "You heard me. Do something, Kape." A Kape is a drooling idiot. "Well, in that case," he said, "I'm going to beat you." That's what I was hoping you would say. We began dancing around in circles, and I wasted no time. I unleashed a flurry of punches that was so fast and terrifying that my arms blurred before my eyes. I gave him lefts and rights and a few uppercuts for good measure. My iron fists moved so furiously that I didn't even feel them smashing his face. After a while, though, I began to feel sorry for the guy, so I backed away and took a breath. But to my surprise, the boy was still standing. Worse, he was laughing at me. Before I could unleash another deadly round, I felt a terrible pain in my eye, then another and another. Soon, I was lying on the ground while his fists pounded my back and stomach. By the time my uncle raced over and rescued me, I was crying and covered with dust. "What are you doing, William?" he shouted. "You know better than to fight. That boy is twice your size." I was so embarrassed that I ran back to my grandparents' house and didn't come outside for the rest of the weekend. Once I got home, I found Shabani and confronted him. "Your magic doesn't work. You promised me power, but I was beaten in Doha." "Of course it works," he said, then thought for a second. "Listen, did you take a bath the day I gave it to you?" "Yes." Well, that's why. My medicine doesn't allow you to bathe. You never said that. Of course I did. But, as you can see, I was clearly cheated. My first and only experience with magic left me with sore hands, a throbbing eye, and a healthy dose of skepticism. Gradually, the witches and wizards didn't seem as frightening or powerful, and I began to look at the world in a different way. I saw it as one explained by fact and reason, rather than mystery and hocus pocus. But in this world, there still existed the same set of sorrows.